Hi guys, I am Theo from Yachting Monthly,
And I am Toby Hodges from Yachting World.
and we are at the Düsseldorf Boat Show 2025. And we've had a few days looking around the boats, so we thought we'd just sit down and have a bit of a chat about what we've seen and what the most exciting boats are that we've been looking at. Toby, highlights of the show for you so far?
It's been very busy, first 3 days. I've been surprised at the footfall, having done this show for many, many, many years. German enthusiasm is very, very high. So I think seeing the amount of people in here on a Monday and Tuesday is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Slight surprise as well. The German big production guys aren't here, Bavarian and Hansa. And
They've pulled out this
I
year.
think the
haven't
French are mopping that up a bit because there's queues to get on all the boats. So it's good to see the appetite for sailing is here for sure.
they? Yeah, and I think I've seen that there are definitely fewer companies here. Arcona aren't here, and there's a few other Elan aren't here. So around the edges, there's quite a number of people that have dropped out, but it feels like there's still quite a few new boats being launched this year, and maybe the yards that have new boats to announce have come along.
Yeah,
because it feels like there's still new boats arriving and new stuff to look at.
yeah, there's plenty of new stuff right through the sizes and the ranges and the budgets as well. And it's really it's quite a positive start to the year to see how different the designs are and which way people think the market's going to go.
Yeah. So what do you reckon in terms of trends and stuff? Do you think there are particular areas of the sailing market that are doing better, or where we're seeing more innovation?
Yeah, well, I think the higher end of the market is certainly steady. And we've seen that for quite a few years now in terms of the 50-foot plus, and particularly on this sort of luxury end. I say we're sitting on the Contest 49 on the contest stand. It's these are luxury items.
Yeah, and there's a few new boats in that area, aren't there? So there's the Halberg Rassi 69.
Yeah, it's a great chance to see these sort of boats here.
Yeah.
I mean, to fit a 70-foot yacht into this show is quite impressive.
Yeah.
So, again, a good one for people to come and have a look at. The 63 CS contest is here as well. That's just
behind us. Yeah.
European Yacht of the Year, and that is, there's a lot of positive comments about just how quality a build that is.
Yeah.
And the other one at the sort of high end of the scale, at that size, well, there's a couple, but there's a custom boat here from KM Yachts, the Best of R54.
Yes,
Look on that. I mean, you don't often get
that's an aluminium sort of expedition yacht built in Holland, isn't it?
Yeah. Totally bespoke, high latitude cruiser, and then coming a bit down the scale. I mean, these are all big expensive boats.
Yeah. And you went on the
Vokier,
yeah.
And the Haven 42.
Yeah. What did you think of the Vokiers?
Extraordinary. We're talking about trends. That's got a lot of.
I mean, the aft cabin in that is absolutely enormous, isn't it? With those sort of, I don't know what you call it, sort of patio doors across the back almost.
Yeah.
Not quite. That's not quite the way of describing it, but gull wing up onto the aft.
Yeah,
platform.
absolutely. And it's it's got. I said it at the time. It's got an apartment. Really, it's not an owner's cabin. It's huge. And not only got that access, but what I think's interesting is you and I have seen a lot of where hull design goes and that sort of thing. And for someone to come up with a centre cockpit, blue watery type luxury cruiser that's got a totally different shape, is very, very novel indeed.
Yeah.
The reverse shear, tumble home, the volume that brings inside, and then how the boat is operated thanks to that space it gives. That's definitely a talking point boat.
Now, the things I've been quite interested in are maybe a little bit at the other end of the market, because I think there's a bit of innovation and some, as new boats have gradually got bigger and bigger, they've sort of left a little bit of a void at the bottom end of the market, and it feels like that's starting to get filled with some new ideas and new thinking. I think a little bit there's an upsurgence of single-handed and double-handed racing. More and more people are doing that because you don't need crews. People want boats that are fun to sail, that are fast and that don't cost loads of money. And I think for me this year, sort of first among those are the new Beneteau First 30.
Yeah.
So they've been reinvigorating the first line for a few years now. They bought Seascape in Slovenia. They've done the 36 and the 44 in France, and then they've just added this new 30, and they're claiming it's a new kind of cruiser, the planing cruiser. I mean, I'm pretty sure things like Pogos have been doing that for a little while. Yeah. But the idea that you've got a lightweight boat is pretty stripped out, but they've fitted it out comfortably enough that you could go cruising, I don't know, as a couple or with a small family for a week or two. It's not luxury by any means, but it's neatly done, and also it's what, 2.5, under 3 tons all up, loads of that's in the keel, and you put a kite up and it should just really go. So I'm looking forward to seeing if it works, and because it doesn't weigh very much, the forces aren't that big, it's meant to be reasonably easy to sail by people who aren't sort of a full-on race crew, but you can just get it shifting fairly easily.
I think the difference there as well is doing it to Beneteau have managed to bring their might in to get it to an affordable price.
Yes.
People have done fast planing boats before, but an entry level sort of €100,000 price. That's quite impressive to be able to build all of that design into that size and keep it at the price they have.
Yeah. And there are 2 other boats that kind of hit that size point and price point at the show, which I think are quite interesting. From Poland, there's the Maxus 31. So Maxus isn't a massive production yard, but a lot of the boats here are probably actually moulded in Poland. There's a real sort of centre of excellence for moulding GRP there, and obviously now some are actually being launched from Poland. So the Maxus 31 is a proper little cruising boat. You've got swing keel, deep keel, and a shoal keel. And that is on the water for under €150,000 as well. I think that includes VAT.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. And then the Benta 28 was launched a couple of years ago, but that's similarly about £150,000, including VAT, on the water. And you've got four berths, a couple of settee berths, proper head, a little galley. So a proper little cruising boat, and that should also get up on the plane. I mean, it's a little bit heavier. But a similarly sort of performance boat. So I think that's quite an exciting area of the market.
Yeah, I think so. And it's nice to see, say, something that's an approachable size and more entry-level pricing as well. I mean, I haven't spent so much time in that hall. I've been spent in hall 16, but there's one you haven't mentioned there, which I would include because I know you've sailed it. It's the Bay Cruiser 21, which I think it's just won a European Yacht of the Year award. It's brilliant for Matt at Swallow Yachts because that is a really little versatile little family cruiser, weekender, water ballasted, shoal draft boat.
I mean, if you're looking for clever engineering ideas, those boats from Swallow Yachts are crammed full of sort of their carbon mast, super easy mast to lower, water ballast, really clever little systems with the engines and all sorts of stuff going on. So they're really well thought out boats, I think.
And that's coming in at a third of the price, at more like, I think it's about 35,000.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it's great to see him. I hope that'll help him bring in more in that Bay Cruiser range as well.
I maybe wouldn't go quite as extreme as the one boat I've seen at the show, which is claiming to be the world's smallest yacht, which is the Deltania, which is it's a bit ridiculous, really. It's 2.3 metres long. You literally sit in it, you've got a tiller in between your legs, and you can control the main sheet from in front of you. It's like £5,000. It's a bit of fun. It looks quite funny. It's basically like getting in and sailing a model yacht. And it's 10 cents.
£5,000.
5,000, yeah. So, but I mean, so I'm not sure what the market for that is, but as a fun novelty, it's quite fun to see. You're never going to cruise on it, obviously.
Yeah. And then, I mean, in the performance sector, so I've seen a couple of cool foiling dinghies like Birdie Fish.
Yeah.
But I mean, in this, coming back into the sort of more cruiser size in the 30, 40 foot market, there's a couple of interesting boats in here, new launches. X have gone back to racing.
Yeah.
XR41, which is I haven't been on board, but I have looked at the hull shape. Looks really interesting. I know quite a lot about the design, which is all focused around ORC.
Yeah.
But it's I'm also really interested to see Grand Soleil come here with the blue, which is, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's
just down there. It's a lovely looking little boat.
Uses a thermoplastic resin like Beneteau did last year with the first 44, which basically means end of life.
You can put it in an oven and separate the elements out.
Yeah, I mean, they're actually, at the moment, they're trying to do the chemical side of it. At the moment, they're doing the mechanical side to break down into pellets at the end of life. But it's a very cool planing shape, very current, and it's very different take on a sort of weekend design.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's quite interesting to see different yards coming with very different looking concepts.
Yeah, yeah. Now, if you want something completely different, obviously there's the new Dragonfly 36, which is just over there.
Yeah.
Which I think looks super cool. I mean, it's not a cheap boat, is it?
No.
But, I mean, the idea that you could sit there, it's got heated helm seats, so if you're sailing in chilly weather, stick the heated seats on.
Yeah.
You can be drinking your hot chocolate or your beer or whatever whilst doing 15 knots upwind at 10 degrees of heel, flying along, and get it up to, they reckon it'll go at 24 knots, I think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy for a 36-footer cruising boat.
Yeah. They are Dragonfly sparkling performance, and to hear Jens Corning say that it should have similar performance to the 40 is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So that hasn't been on the water yet, but I think both you and I are quite keen to test that.
That's why it's sort of quite exciting to be here at the show. You know that a lot of these yards are launching in March, April.
Yeah.
Start doing test sailing there. So yeah, sort of got a long list of want to test.
Yeah. And if you were going to pick one boat from the show that you were going to put your order in for today, get for the summer season to sail at home, what would you go for?
If someone was going to give me it, no budget.
Yeah. Money, no object.
I would probably pick the Dragonfly. I like Pogo.
You've got to try and run it at home anyway, don't you? Or you did?
Yeah, Pogo 36.
Yeah.
I like playing, so I'm really interested in that first 30. I think the Dragonfly 36, though, that's the one I would be for just the versatility of speed and shoulder aft, being able to drive.
Oh, the shoulder draft's lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
How about you?
I think I'd actually go for the first 30. I love I mean, multi-hulls are cool, but I think I'm sort of dyed-in-the-wool monohull, and the idea that you could sort of just send it in a little boat without trying too hard, planing, that kind of stuff, and I could really imagine just getting on board either with a couple of mates for an evening or taking the family out for a weekend and going and having a lovely little cruise in that on a boat that sails really well. I think that looks just fun. Just sort of stripped out, simple and fun. So I think that's what my money's on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Second that.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Right.